So I did my presentation on Black Tuesday. It was also known as the Wall Street crash of 1929 and the stock market crash. So the Roaring Twenties was a time of wealth, and the stock market was at an all-time high, and nobody thought of it as ever ending, so they just bought more stocks and shares, and investors borrowed money to buy even more. But what was unprecedented by people was when the stock market had started decreasing. And the stock market crash didn't happen in a single day. It was over a period of several days, and it just got worse each day. So it kind of officially started on October 24th, 1929, what was also known as Black Thursday. And that was kind of the start of the Great Depression. So on that Thursday, a total of 13 million stocks were traded. And it was such a shock to everybody that the US JP Morgan tried buying themselves out that day, but they didn't get lucky. That decision to buy themselves out did slightly increase the price of stocks on Saturday, October 26th. But that slight decrease that appeared on Thursday led many others to sell their shares because of how scared they were to lose their money. So then on Monday, October 28, 1929, many other stocks were traded, and the stock market declined more than 22%. But that wasn't even the worst. The worst day was on Black Tuesday. So on October 29, 1929, 16,410,030 stocks were traded on that single day. And that was when the stock market had lost more than $14 billion. So the American economy had been left in ruins. Individual investors, businesses, and consumers had lost so much money. And all of the consumers' reason wasn't really their fault for losing the money. It was because banks had invested their money without the consumers knowing and without their consent. So, and then investors had lost a lot of money and could not pay off the debts they had from them kind of borrowing money from the bank to pay for the stocks and shares they wanted. So, and then all of the banks had to close down because they didn't have enough money to give back to people. And then people had lost like their whole life savings during those days. And then people are so desperate to trade their stocks, and that caused the prices to plummet even farther, which was called, later named as panic selling. So by the end of this whole Black Tuesday, Black Thursday, over the course of the weekend, people couldn't even afford like everyday items such as clothes. And then in the Roaring Twenties, people could afford cars kind of easily, but now after Black Tuesday happened, it became almost impossible for them. And then wages for workers were cut and unemployment increased dramatically. And in the year of 1929, 2.5 million Americans were left unemployed. So politicians and industry leaders tried to be optimistic about the state of the economy, which was really hard because it was just doing really badly. But as time went on, they lost hope and the Great Depression just dragged on. So in 1932, 1 in 4 Americans were unemployed. And then in 1933, the stock market was less than a fifth of what it was at its peak in 1929. And then the Great Depression lasted for about a decade.